News update. Hollywood Hollywood collab The Window to be a Ami Lassie and Kaze, the film directors who are behind the film of Gum. Um, let's see, are on their next film project. While their film debate didn't make quite a splash, Gum at the box office, it was received by the film festival. It was received by the film festivals. Their next, well received by the film festivals. The next film is Window. Let's see. They said it is a Hollywood collaboration and seems to be a dark tale. It is. Before I read this article, I looked on the IMDb and read the plot, and I feel quite uncomfortable. But then I guess there's clanging stories that happen in Pakistan, but then the truth is it also happened in other places around the world. But I guess the truth is I think they want to highlight this to the Pakistani people, and I guess it's also going to be done by I think it's another independent film thing is going to hit on film festivals. But I'll talk to you about that in a minute. And seems to be a dark tale. Here's what the duo have to say about their new project. First off, it's confirmed that The Window was, in fact, a Hollywood collaboration between their studio, Starstruck Films, and Free Father Pictures, an independent film studio from Hollywood. It's also appropriately the first office of SAG approved film by being made in Pakistan. The film's poster shows what appears to be a starving girl caged inside a room, also naked if you can see that. With bars, light sweeping in. This appears to be another dark tale. As with Gum, the difference being that it's based on true events. Naturally, this pipe cured our interest as to the kind of films that Kaza and Aman are drawn towards. The film can't be categorized as a dark or illuminated. It's a pure storytelling medium. Their objective is to sorry, it's the Christmas, winter, December, so I'm under the weather. This, let's see, just to tell, let's see, objective appears to be just to tell the stories which are as close to reality as possible. This, they believe, helps cinema reach its true potential. I don't know. Okay, the truth is, if I was a Pakistani, I think I would go and check it out, but if I was a Westerner, and if this was a Western film, I don't think I would check it out. Let's see. As the poster has been carefully chosen to reflect the color palette of the film and to complement the story. The same goes for the frames and the storyboards. Being the directors and producers and writers of the film, being deeply involved at every step. However, they've quick to the point out to dedication of their crew and achievement. Still, both filmmakers are aware of the impact that such cinema can have on society and feel a sense of responsibility regarding to their work. If their version seems different, it may be by design. We know our version towards the film is different by cinema isn't just rom-com, or is it? The film cast has always been making rounds of social media. Attached to projects are veterans, and like for an example, they actually got someone from yes, they got an original actor from their first one who they worked with, and now they even got let's see, some fresh faces. I believe they're TV stars and worked on a couple of films, but I think this is another film they're gonna be working on. Overall, yes, they got Fahar Tahar, the American Pakistani actor who may remember as who came in Iron Man, Star Trek, enslaved, or like no, he's mostly a Hollywood veteran. He always had been a Hollywood veteran. He even worked on TV series such as Blacklist. What else? What else? The 12 Monkeys Netflix series, and banana cakes. Sorry, it's my catchphrase when I'm just. What else? Like. Yeah, those sort of things. So yeah, he is a big deal. Yes, he came in Iron Man. He played as who you may remember as an Afghan terrorist. Well, yeah, Afghan terrorist, Pakistani terrorist. I don't know, Chinese terrorist, American terrorist, Irish terrorist, South African terrorist, Iraqi terrorist, Iranian terrorist. Whatever the choice is choice. The fashion also, because what is the most common of rebels or crooks or whatever is there who calls themselves a freedom fighter, or maybe they are a freedom fighter, but overall, if example of this guy here also shows it, but then things like that, like in countries like South Asia or Central Asia, like extremism or just people who want to create a new state by force or brutality. Group leaders from the first Iron Man film. These actors are naturally picked for their impression, acting chops. The screenplay of The Window has a great margins for the actors to perform according to the directors. Though, as Kaza Amar, our strong characters lead to the strong screenplay for us, all the characters in the story are alive. Screenplays, acting chops aside, though horror films, though no variety in Pakistan, have failed to do well. Yeah, okay, as the horror film industry is a very big flop in India's as well as India, but they've been struggling a lot. Some of them have been memorable, I think, due to their entertainment, but like Bollywood, they actually, I think they might finally understand how to get something, but right now it's not like a landslide or a climax, but right now Bollywood might have to understand, also because they may have the time and many international foreigners coming, visiting the country's film industry of Bollywood, so Pakistan's a long way for their horror film industry, but nothing's impossible. Even Gum was a failure at the box office. Recent films like Dujra have also not fared well despite the controversy subject matter. Yet Amar and Kaza remain hopeful for their next feature film. That's gonna be a hard one. I feel like people in Pakistan are not gonna be fond of it. And second of all, it's gonna be mostly produced by American film studios who are not familiar with Desi style of the film industry. However, no, it's the film studios that will be providing the equipment and the providing money, but however, it'll be the directors. But then, will it be managed? I feel like such as a big star like that. I remember I saw his interview on the Pakistani news channel when he had a webcam chat People ask what he liked about. Let's see. His host asked him what he liked about Pakistan. He said he likes about the food. The food there. He said he's pleased about the film industry's massive improvements, but that was like maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. He said that about their improvement. He says they still have a long way. He said he once was offered an audition to visit the country, since he visited the country many times before, since he is actually American born, but then with a Pakistani background. He just implied that I guess I heard the rumors were due to his paycheck. Like, I guess he wasn't impressed with what he was going to receive, so he was like, nah. I heard he was going to work with Sean, and it was going to be like another action spy counter-terrorist thriller film like War and O21. So, I am trying to. I think he's doing it for more of a reason, such as things like this happening in countries or places. I think those are one of the reasons why, because I guess he wants to. For his name, and I guess people in Pakistan do know him because he worked even on the. Yes, I forgot, yes, the escape plan, which he started with Sly and Stallone, but the film was just a prison. Like, they were in the prison place where it was all about the most wanted people in the world, and he was playing as a wanted terrorist with an Islamic background, so he was playing an extremist, but I think his background was, I can't remember, I think Palestinian rebel that was a problem to the Israelis and all that. Can't remember, I watched that film a long time ago, but no, that was his background. The story is he was just one of the characters that was like, he was just one of the characters as one of the prisoners in the cell, and Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger were there. So overall, yes, they worked together, they acted together, and they played their characters together. Of course, they are Arnold and Schwarzenegger. They were the main characters, so he was just a supporting lead character. Still was a great one. They insisted that, yeah, overall, yeah. So I think he wants to highlight this like rubbish of about pedophile problems and kidnapping and child kidnapping and child or human trafficking. Like, this is like, it's true. It's so sad. It's common. Like, it is common. China, Thailand, Southeast Asia, of course, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Iran, Mexico, Colombia. But I'm guessing I think why he's supporting this film. I don't know about the paycheck, but I think he's more interested to support this film due to its target for the viewers and audience, so they can highlight this issue so people can be aware of this. The films that this over there, like, if they want to like market this, it's gonna be difficult because serious films like this, like Dudra, Verna, sort of like struck. Verna was actually doing well, but then it was tackled by the government, and then it was released afterwards because the people were turning their eyes on the government, and then the government decided to release it, but then changed the date really to release it like late nights. Jahan, spoiler, one of the stories in the somewhere in the climax turns out because one of the good characters in it, he found out one of the people that he trusted. Turns out he was a villain, and was because he was a pedophile. Like you bastard. I thought you were helping to fund the children, but you only funded so you can go in that your own head business afterwards. He was funding a school, so, and he being the head principal teacher, but as being told afterwards, or he used to go back in there when there was rarely that many staff there. Yeah, they want to highlight these kinds of. So, I really don't like it, and the poster really upsets me. It's good they highlighting this problem, especially the other film where Shamuna Bass wants to was it the that one where it was on newspaper called The Legend of Iqbal, a guy who's been raping boys and strangling them and throwing their remains in the river. He was finally discovered due to, I can't remember how long he's been doing, maybe 7 years or 10 years. Until until he was discovered due to suspicion. I think they may be founded by found and washed up something up on the shores. He was discovered, evidence. He was about to be sentenced, but then he quickly killed himself because he heard about what his death was going to be. My goodness, I can't believe they're oh, highlighting these things. Something just a bit different about the Bollywood film industry, and like I don't know, they're like I never heard that many films where they want to highlight films about rape or pedophile. This I know Bijay Kabaijan, they only highlighted it once, such as where spoilers again, Salman Khan's character saying, "Or I'll take this little Pakistani girl back home." I'm like, but I can't take her. They're like, "Oh, you're in charge of visas? What? You also smuggle people back over the border?" All right, here's the money. Here's the grand. Here's the grand. Okay, you take care, sweetheart. And then he's like, "Oh, I forgot to give her this bracelet. I might as well go back and just say, give her back." Until he was following them, and then turns out he takes her to a brothel, and then someone in the brothel turns out he was trying to sell the child, yeah, he was selling the child as the head on the brothel, saying this is perfect. A young girl will be perfect for business, as most of the women were adults, and she was going to be a that was. And then Salman Khan, he goes all Desi Masala mode, swinging and throwing people across the room, especially the guy who he thought like, "I gave you money, your job was supposed to take her back home, you bastard, you wanted more money." Oh yeah, so he threw him out the window and all that stuff, but yeah, but no, it's good they highlight it in India, so to show you should not trust everyone in life just because they're saying cons, greedy people in life, so oh my god, it's like, I'm not saying in India like but you saw what that film is, so it's trying to also inform you. Do not always try and think this gonna be make life is gonna be easier by just taking the easy way. Like here you go, until you find out that kind of rubbish. Even you're trying to help someone, they're saying, "Oh, this person will take care of you," if you don't know that person. Yeah, and this is a very odd subject to talk about, and especially this film. They insist that Gum was targeted at the film festival audience and wasn't intended as a commercial entertainer. Window, however, has a much bigger scope with a much bigger targets. Both filmmakers have also brushed off any fears of problems with the censor board, despite the Hundaless faced by like Dujuru and Swargojara. They seem like the confident at their version. They're just concentrating on making a good film at the moment. When the window is slotted by for release of 2020, though no office release date has been set. The scouting for the filming location has been completed, and the first shooting spell is underway. There you go. I already told you about the stuff. This poster, like, it has, like, of course, it has nudity, so I don't know how they might need to change the poster. So if they want to advertise this to millions of Pakistani viewers, because. But I guess it's a taster poster. That's so like uncomfortable, so disturbing, so sad, so thinking like it makes you think how you can sleep at night. Like I hate saying this with unknown rubbish that's happening around the world. Many things, many sins around the world, and different sins of killing, rape, blood money. Okay. For our help, I think we all should try our best to try and help the needy as much as possible. If we know we're in the right situation, the right place where, as long as it doesn't involve your family's your safety. Sorry, I just find this poster quite upsetting. But I guess I maybe exaggerating. Maybe there's been many films like this by Hollywood and Bollywood and many film industries. I remember I saw another film called The Killers, another film called I Saw the Devil. Oh, I also saw another film called what's another one? Guess they do want to highlight this. And what's the spell? Yeah, and, also I checked out South Korean manga. Manga means comic, so I think East Asia, like Japan and South Korea, I think they're familiar by calling their comics manga instead, which is a graphic novel. So graphic novels in Korea and Japan, they call them mangas instead of graphic novels or comics. You take care, Kadafis, and always take the right path to the light with Allah. Okay, respect your non-Muslim brethren who are in your land and your country. Try and make peace, and remember, do not always let anger fulfill you. Try and be aware of things that are around you. Try and look. Hey, Gaddafi and Allah Hafiz.